Welcome back. You're still watching Good Morning Namibia. And for sports in this hour, the Namibia Revenue Agency, NamRA, as well as the Botswana Unified Revenue Services, BURS or BRUS, will be hosting upcoming friendly sports games in Windhoek this coming weekend on the 15th of July. Now, NamRA is expected is expecting approximately 250 participants from BURS to arrive in Windhoek starting from Tuesday, which was basically a couple of days ago, to take part in the various sports codes. Joining us with more on this is the the Chief Strategic Communications of the Namibia Revenue Agency, Stephen Yarukeekuro Ndorokaze. Mr. Ndorokaze, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
How are you this morning?
Cold morning, but a good one.
All right. Now, I did mention that NamRA will be hosting sports games together with the BURS. Kindly just talk to us as to what inspired the whole decision.
Well, for a bit of context, you would recall, because the NBC also covered this extensively, like last year, September, our two heads of state, Botswana and Namibia, met in Botswana for a bi-national commission meeting. Those in the diplomatic space will tell us that's the highest level of any relationship between two sovereign states. Now during that session, about 115 decisions were taken. And I'll speak to you just about 3 of those decisions. Decision 26 talks about the one-stop border post, which our 2 agencies, the Namibia Revenue Agency and the Botswana Unified Revenue Service, are leading agencies in the implementation of that. The expectation is that by sometime next year, that should be delivered so that the border between the Trans-Kalahari and Mamuno becomes a one-stop border post. Then there's decision 27, which speaks to the operationalization of the very same border post for 24 hours. Now, that was delivered on the 1st of April this year. Then there's decision 98, which speaks to the need to enhance cultural and sports activities between our 2 nations. And that's really the basis. As much as we are cooperating as far as our mandates are concerned between our 2 entities, we also thought that it is wise that we extend on that and ensure that the decisions taken by our principals, our heads of state, come to life and effect is given to them. And it's on that basis that our colleagues then indicated that their willingness to come through to Namibia. And we saw that as an opportunity for so many reasons. Obviously, we'll be enhancing cooperation. We are cooperating with them. There is regular contact between us and them. But it's not the same. When you send an email to somebody and responds to that, of course, you increase rapport and the like. But face-to-face interaction says and turns out that relationship and creates a more enhanced relationship. And that's what we are expecting to come out of that. So when that invitation came through, it only made sense that to us, and it was not even something that we needed time to think about, and we accepted that. So we are expecting the number that you have indicated, 250 colleagues from the BURS visiting us this weekend, and we are very excited about it.
Amazing. And they have already started making their arrival to Namibia?
Yes, the advance team is already in Namibia. In fact, they are making a return trip to Namibia because earlier last month they were also here just to ensure that the logistics are in place, because 250 is not a small number. And therefore it requires that we do advanced preparations and ensure that all the places where they will be catered and the facilities that we'll be using in hosting them are up to scratch, and they are up for the kind of fun and participation that we're expecting to be on the day. That's the Friday and the Saturday.
All right. Talk to us about some of the sports codes and the sports activities that will be happening on the day.
We have a long list of activities that we will be participating in. Some of us will be playing football, others will be playing volleyball, others will be playing netball, chess, darts, table tennis. There's also a few athletics events that are taking place, some sprint events, as well as the relay would be the ultimate activity, closing off the day, because of the hype that relay actually ignites those that are watching. So that's how we expect to close the day. At the end of the day, we'll also be having a brief ceremony awarding those that would have shown on the day to ensure that they are celebrated, as well as much as there is a competitive element to it, it's really just fun and fostering cooperations between our 2 entities. That's really the ultimate objective.
All right. And this is a one-day event?
Yes, it starts with tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, the rest of the team are expected to drive through Gobabes into Windhoek. At some point during the day, they should have arrived in Windhoek. And then the evening, we are hosting them. We are welcoming them. And because of our cultural diversities between the two nations, but also the commonalities, if you have regard to some of the ethnic groups that we have here, they also have it on the other side. So the dinner is really themed around our cultural diversities and celebrating that. So it's a semi-formal event where we will talk about the relationships and whatnot, but we also use the opportunity to exhibit and display our various cultural, whether it's attires, whether it's dances, whether it's whatever, poetry and anything that goes with that. So that's for the Friday. And then the Saturday is dedicated to sports, where we would be playing all those activities and events that I have listed here, competed between us and them. And then Sunday, as they drive out, we will be taking them on an excursion of Windhoek. Windhoek, the central business district, as well as parts of Katutura and Komasta, so that they've got a fuller appreciation of Windhoek. What we are hoping to get out of this, of course, we are, like we're saying, we are bringing in about 250 people into the Namibian market, into the Namibian economy. Besides the formal program, we're expecting them to do some other activities which will contribute to the economy. But we're also hoping that in their personal capacities, given the exposure that they would have received, they would also be able to make their trips here and come and visit us, as we are fostering, at the heart of it, as we are fostering these relationships between our two entities, but very important, between our two peoples.
All right. But how prepared is NamRA when it comes to hosting the Botswana Unified Revenue Services?
At this time, this hour of the day, we would want to think that we are very prepared. It has obviously taken a lot of back and forth. Some of the facilities that we would have wanted to use are not available. But we had to make peace with that and go for those that are available. So we're very much confident. Yesterday, we were going down the list, the checklist, and checking the activities and the preparedness. And we're very confident that we will be able to pull off this one.
All right. So for those perhaps, those that are from Botswana and they're staying in Namibia and want to come, support their fellow people, and as well as us Namibians to come support NamRA, is this event open to the public?
Well, given the logistics around it, there's also an element of security that we also need to ensure. And there we would want to thank the various law enforcement agencies because of the good collaboration that exists between us and them. We've gotten those assurances. But this is a corporate event, and it really will be limited to the employees and staff members of the two entities, so that they use the platform to, as much as it is very relaxed, but also to engage, so that when come Monday and there's a document that you want from PURS, you know who to call. Not only is it a name, but there is a person you can make. Even if that person is not the one dealing with it, they are able to refer you to the next colleague that is dealing with it. And we have seen that as a very important one. I can use one example. In the department that we are responsible for, we did a benchmark exercise around the alignment of the international relations within the revenue agency. And when you look at it, and we spoke and we requested from many agencies across the continent. But it so happens that those in the Southern African part are the ones that were quick to respond. And that tells you because of the connectivity and the closeness and the relationship that you have. So it is very important. We're talking about sports now, but we know that it is very crucial to us delivering on our mandate as well.
All right. Do we see this collaboration with perhaps any other African countries in the future?
Yes. There was a platform called the Interregional Games. And unfortunately, with the advent of COVID, those games have not been happening at those levels. So one expects that would be resuscitated. But as the Namibia Revenue Agency, you might be aware that a week ago, we were in Eswatini because in April, when we hosted our Taxpayer Trader Appreciation Day, we also had colleagues from BURS as well as ERS, the Eswatini Revenue Service, and colleagues from Zambia. What they did is that they came to see our event so that they could benchmark that and have their own event. Although they have been in existence for so many years, they have never had those platforms. Now, about a week ago, on the 30th of June, we were in Eswatini witnessing their maiden Clients Appreciation Day. And it was benchmarked against ours. And that's the extent of activities. We obviously want to pride ourselves that we have only been in existence for 2 years, but other people are benchmarking from us. But we've definitely have got a lot of lessons to draw from others in the region. And yes, we are enhancing our cooperation with everybody within the region, the continent, but also far. Because you see, our vision is really, and we are very serious when we say this, our vision is to become a world-class revenue agency serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian. And we're seeing evidence of that.
All right. Perhaps any final remarks before we let you go this morning?
Well, we're very excited for the colleagues from BURS that they've agreed to come and enjoy Namibia with us. We're looking forward to this event, and we hope that everything goes according to plan. Because of how big the delegation is, it will possibly inconvenience some parts of the city as well, as they are moving from one place to the next. And we are only calling on Namibians and Windhoek residents to be just patient, because it's only 2 days, and within 2 days they will be gone. For whatever inconvenience that could result or occasioned by their visit to Namibia, we just apologize and really just call on their usual Namibian patience and hospitality.
All right. Mr. Ndorokaze, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We wish you all the best to the games. And not to be biased, but I hope we win.
No, we will definitely win, of course, but at the heart of it, there is competition to it, but we really fostering those friendly relations.
Yeah.
But if your team has time, whether it's the GMN team or the sports team, we would allow them to have access to whatever they would want to capture on camera.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Sure.
See